pay interest on that fee. Also back in 2020, home loan mortgages and finance rates were at record lows. That's not the situation today. Fees had much less of an impact on a veteran's ability to lower the housing cost. Today, interest rates are much higher. Many more veterans are facing foreclosure, and the Trump administration got rid of VASP, which was the last-ditch program to keep veterans and their families in their homes. And Congressman, as I said, in the last 12 months, 10,000 veterans' homes were foreclosed upon. It has been a year, and the replacement, the partial claims program, still has not rolled out. Now, I'll just mention one more thing. Blue Water Navy. That was negotiated under a Republican-controlled House, but it didn't get done until Democrats took charge. Changing the pay for once I took the gavel would have meant that the Agent Orange presumptive would not have passed quickly and would have gotten stuck in the Senate, meaning elderly veterans would not have gotten access to health care and their disability benefits. We, Democrats and Republicans together, we both in the House and Senate made an agreement to allow an increase in the home loan fees for a couple of years. But the agreement was that that increase would be the last time Congress would use the increased fees to pay for veterans' benefits.
Patriots,
we here in Congress...
Welcome back to the channel, the No BS home for America First Truth. Today we're diving into a heated House Rules Committee hearing that just dropped, and let me tell you, this one fired me up. You've got Republican Congressman Mike Bost from Illinois, a veteran himself, going toe-to-toe with Democrat Representative Teresa Ledger Fernandez. The title says it all. You can kick and scream all you want. Mike Bost snaps back hard, and frankly, it's about time someone did. Stick with me because we're breaking this entire thing down from a true patriot perspective. This isn't just another boring congressional spat. This is about how Democrats treat our veterans versus how real conservatives fight for them. Listen to this. The Democrat starts off by saying, "We all agree we should increase benefits for disabled veterans." Sounds nice, right? But then she immediately pivots to Republicans giveth and Republicans taketh away. Classic leftist tactic. Pretend to support the troops while undermining any responsible way to pay for it. Here's the reality, folks. Veterans' benefits aren't free. We can't just print more money or keep racking up trillions in debt that our kids and grandkids will pay for. Chairman Mike Bost is trying to pass legislation that actually delivers real increases for disabled vets, people who lost limbs, sight, and mobility serving this country. But to make it fiscally responsible under current pay-go rules, they're adjusting VA home loan refinancing fees. Democrats are acting like this is some massive betrayal. Give me a break. Bost is dropping facts here. He points out that previous increases Democrats supported were temporary. This one they're fighting is permanent, and it's in a completely different economic environment. Higher interest rates, rising foreclosures. He's not wrong. As a right-wing patriot, I'll say this loud and clear.
Ms. Ledger Fernandez, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and welcome, Chairman Bost and Ranking Member. You know what's interesting about this conversation is I think every Democrat, including me, agrees on an important aspect, and that is that we should increase the benefits for our disabled veterans. These are service members who gave their limbs, their sight, their mobility to our country. It's right that we increase those benefits and that we treat their families fair. I mean, I think we all agree on that. We all agree on that. What we don't agree on is the idea that you're going to take away from veterans at the same time. Republicans giveth and Republicans taketh away. And that's the problem that you are hearing from us. And it's my understanding that we've never agreed to triple the cost. I mean, can you just clarify that? Because we keep hearing that. We've never agreed to triple the cost for housing fees for veterans.
Yeah, thank you, Congresswoman. The bottom line is that this legislation is going to increase the cost of refinancing the home loans for veterans at a time when foreclosure rates are rising among veterans, when the economy is really challenging, and we're putting this burden on our active duty service members as well because they're eligible to refinance their homes. So let me just kind of walk through the two times that there was a temporary increase that Democrats supported. This increase is a permanent increase, which will cost us money to bring back down. They're wanting to pay permanently for other veterans by putting the burden on veterans who want to refinance their homes. So when I was chairman, we did pass a bill out of the House in 2020 that would have increased the interest rate reduction refinance loan program by 0.25%. But it didn't become law. When you strip away all the context around the bill, you can try to set up a gotcha. Oh, you Democrats did this too. But in reality, we are in a much different situation now. First, the proposed increase in 2020 returned to the current levels after a few years. It was temporary. Representative Barrett's and Chairman Bost's replacement at the current replaces the current level with a new fee level, and it's not a temporary change, it's a permanent increase. That's why the VSOs are not jumping up and down, oh yeah, we support this. Today's proposed increase is almost 3 times what was contemplated in 2020. That translates into $2,500 or $3,000 to $3,000 more in fees that veterans would have to pay under Representative Barrett's plan. And that cost doubles when the veteran has to pay interest on that fee. Also back in 2020, home loan mortgages and finance rates were at record lows. That's not the situation today. Fees had much less of an impact on a veteran's ability to lower the housing cost. Today, interest rates are much higher. Many more veterans are facing foreclosure, and the Trump administration got rid of VASP, which was the last-ditch program to keep veterans and their families in their homes. And Congressman, as I said, in the last 12 months, 10,000 veterans' homes were foreclosed upon. It has been a year, and the replacement, the partial claims program, still has not rolled out. Now, I'll just mention one more thing. Blue Water Navy. That was negotiated under a Republican-controlled House, but it didn't get done until Democrats took charge. Changing the pay-for once I took the gavel would have meant that the Agent Orange presumptive would not have passed quickly and would have gotten stuck in the Senate, meaning elderly veterans would not have gotten access to health care and their disability benefits. We, Democrats and Republicans together, we both in the House and Senate made an agreement to allow an increase in the home loan fees for a couple of years. But the agreement was that that increase would be the last time Congress would use the increased fees to pay for veterans' benefits. We here in Congress were supposed to find alternative ways to pay for the earned benefits besides charging veterans. What we're contemplating today is a permanent, significant increase in the Veteran Home Loan Program. And look, you can't just dismiss away, oh, this is just only on those who want to refinance their homes. That's particularly the point. Refinancing a home is going to be particularly important for those veterans in danger of losing their homes.
And right now, I think the issue is right now, everything is more expensive.
That's right.
And Chairman Bost, he keeps referring to the fact that there are 10,000 who've already been foreclosed on. Do you know how many are likely to be foreclosed on?
I can tell you what we have done
Can you
since
tell me, I asked you a question. Do you know what the estimate is?
What is the estimate? What's the estimation?
The number of veterans who are likely to be foreclosed on. There's
Can you
already
give me
been
the number?
10,000. What's the number?
Can you give me the number?
It's 90,000. So that would be 100,000 veterans?
That's why earlier last year we passed and supported the partial claims bill. That's why we did that, so that we could be wise in the way that we were doing our fiduciary duty to back up those loans and help them one time to try to actually cure the problem rather than just taking over the loan. Take your time.
Implemented?
Do what?
Has it been implemented?
It is not yet.
This is the problem, is that it has not been implemented. Fees are going to go up, and you're proposing to have more fees. And I have some other questions and wanted to go on things, but I believe the ranking member wanted.
I just wanted to clarify something because I came in when Mr. Scott was speaking. I just want to make sure I understand it. So listening to him made it sound like all these increases and were embraced by Democrats. I mean, I don't ever recall you proposing tripling the fee to refinance a loan.
Or making it permanent.
Yeah, or making it permanent. Am I correct on that? So why do they say that? Why do they keep on saying that this was?
Because these are the offsets we've used.
No,
We've tried.
We've never made them permanent, and never do I recall you tripling the fee to to refinance a loan. Are you saying that?
This still boils down to the fact, do we want to have increases for those people who are truly the VA are wanting to, and the thing is still, veteran service organizations have agreed that this is the way we need to get it done under our existing pay-go law.
Well, I think the issue, going back to what Ms. Ledger-Fernandez said, is that we all agree in terms of helping our disabled veterans anywhere we can. We have other offsets. And I don't know, and you seem to be married to this offset.
Actually-
that will triple the fee to refinance a loan, which we're hearing now from people will cause some hardships on veterans. So
We have asked,
saying, and you came out saying, no, you can't even have a vote or a debate on anything.
we have asked for 9 months in the committee for offsets from the minority. We have asked for 9 months. When they came forward with the proposal that they said would save money, when it came back, it actually cost money. So we have worked hard as staff, I have worked hard as a member, and I'm going to work to make sure these veterans are provided for. You can play the political games if you want, but the reality is that this bill is vitally important to our veterans. I'm a veteran, the veterans have signed off on it.
You do not have to find offsets by increasing the cost for other veterans. That's where our objection is.
I think the issue is that we just heard about a potential offset where we would help millionaires who got a huge tax break on the big, beautiful bill help pay for this. And you said, I don't even want to consider it.
Germaneness.
The other thing is, later on this week, we're going to vote on a bill. We're going to vote on a bill that does not have any offsets. It's going to be your second reconciliation bill. Do you know how much that bill is likely to cost?
I'm just debating the bill that we have before us right now.
$73 billion is what it's established. And you know what's in that bill? You know how much half of the program cost here? Half the program cost is $1 billion, right? $1 billion for additional disability compensation. Is that right?
Yep.
Right, $1 billion. You know what else is in your Republican bill that costs $1 billion that has no offsets? A ballroom, Chairman, a ballroom. So Republicans are willing to pay for a ballroom without any offset. You're willing to pay for a ballroom without any offset, but you're not willing to pay for additional disability compensation for our veterans. Those are two votes that we're going to make this week, right?
Can I respond?
Sure.
Okay. Once again, this has to do with our veterans and their benefits. You are bringing things that have nothing to do with that because it's a great political statement. I'm very passionate about my veterans. I'm a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran. My dad was a veteran. My uncle was a disabled veteran. My son's a veteran. I got 2 grandsons, 1 disabled. I know what veterans' needs are. Whatever the politics is on your side of the aisle, let me be very clear. These people have waited 30 years for these increases. I have certain rules I have to follow as the committee chairman. You can say you want to reach out and you want to do everything else, but I'm going to tell you I'm going to follow the rules of this House. And I'm going to follow these rules, and I'm going to deliver for my veterans. And you can kick and scream all you want, but not a one of you sitting up there asking questions are a veteran.
Chairman, we all represent veterans.
Good.
I am a daughter of a veteran. I have 4 uncles who served and are buried in the National Cemetery. My godchild is a veteran. We all are, and so I understand in a way that I will never understand because you have served. But I think that we have an obligation to serve our veterans, and there are ways of doing that that honor all of our veterans, whether they are veterans who need disability payments or whether they are veterans who need the GI Bill for education or the benefits from housing. And there are decisions that we will make this week, and those decisions reflect our priorities. And one of the decisions and votes that Republicans will vote on this week is whether to spend $1 billion for a ballroom and $70-some billion for ICE, and whether they will make a decision on funding important disability benefits by making it more expensive to buy a home. Those are the points that we are making. They are choices. They are choices that your leadership is making and forcing on you. We are suggesting that there are better choices than we made. By the way, do you have any idea, in terms of how we pay for things, how much the debt has gone up under Trump this year alone?
No.
$2.7 trillion. So this is a Republican leadership that is willing to pay for tax cuts. It's willing to pay for alligator Alcatraz, another $1 billion. $1 billion. $1 billion that could go to our veterans. And instead of going to our veterans, is going to these other matters. And those are the points we are making, that these are choices. And the American public wants us to make choices that honor our veterans.
And the good thing about this bill is it allows the veteran themselves, when they're home loan, whether it's veteran run.
Mr. Chair, that want to honor these things. So I am not questioning any of our motivations with regards to the veterans. That's why I began my statement of saying we all agreed on this. What we don't agree on is how you're going to pay for it. And when you make these decisions that say it's more important to fund a ballroom than to fund veterans. And with that, I think the chairman would like me to yield back, and I
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Supporting our veterans means being honest about costs. It means prioritizing those who sacrificed everything over endless government waste, foreign aid to countries that hate us, or handouts to people who just crossed the border illegally. Where were these same Democrats when Biden's open border policies were straining VA resources? Where were they when illegal immigrants were getting priority housing and benefits in some cities while veterans slept on the streets? They love to grandstand about caring for veterans, but their policies have weakened our military, destroyed recruitment, and turned the VA into a bloated bureaucracy. Look at this back and forth. She's throwing out big numbers about potential foreclosures. Bost is trying to explain the practical realities and the partial claims program they passed to help veterans stay in their homes. But Democrats don't want solutions. They want political gotchas. Then comes the best part, boom. There it is, Patriots. Mike Bost lays it out. He's a veteran. His family is full of veterans. He knows what our heroes need. And he calls them out. None of the Democrats grilling him have served. This is the fundamental difference between conservatives and the modern left. We respect the uniform. We understand the sacrifice. We've lived it or come from families that have. Democrats see veterans as just another special interest group to exploit for votes, while they push policies that weaken the military and disrespect the very people who defend our freedoms. Bost is 100% right to follow the rules and deliver for veterans without pretending money grows on trees. The idea that we should fund everything by tripling fees or exploding the deficit is reckless. Real leadership means making tough choices. Cut the waste, secure the border, bring jobs back so veterans can thrive in the civilian world, and stop funding nonsense like gender surgeries in the military or DEI indoctrination that's destroying readiness. Of course, she brings up the usual distractions: a ballroom, tax cuts, ICE funding. This is what they always do. Shift the blame. Change the subject. Patriots, let's be real. Taking care of veterans doesn't mean we can't enforce our laws or modernize government facilities. And tax cuts? They grow the economy, which brings in more revenue to fund priorities like veterans care. The real scandal is how much money this country wastes every year on illegal immigration, endless foreign wars we shouldn't be in, and bureaucratic bloat. If Democrats truly cared about veterans, they'd support securing the border so VA resources aren't diverted, they'd back strong national defense, and they'd work with Republicans on responsible funding instead of playing politics. Bottom line, Patriots, this hearing shows exactly why we need strong America First leadership. Mike Bost gets it. He's fighting for veterans the right way, with honor, realism, and backbone. Democrats want a virtue signal while saddling future generations with debt and undermining the very system that supports our heroes. If you're a veteran watching this, thank you for your service. If you're a patriot who supports our troops, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. Support our veterans, America First. Share this video with every veteran and patriot you know. We need to hold every single member of Congress accountable. Reward the fighters like Mike Bost and primary the weak ones who play games with our military's future. God bless our veterans, God bless the United States military, and God bless America. I'll see you in the next one. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and keep the faith.